Big nerfs.
We've got big nerfs to the pools and the Azure vaults. So imagine you're fighting the overgrown ancient and all the lashers just drop explosive orbs. That's fun. Same for Meladrusa, Chillworn, who also has a bunch of little creeps that drop explosive. So no more explosive in those. Man, my worst memory of explosive, and I think you know it. Disc. Opera fight.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
Lower Kara, explosive. There's explosives in Narnia. That fight where like it really like isn't it like pretty heavy in dispels?
Yeah.
It's a Westfall story.
Yeah, it's Westfall.
Oh, that was some shit.
It was the only way I can describe remembering that was actually we have this term they're using. It's called mind bullets, where I was just shot in the brain by that. That was brutal. But it's that case where, and I think it's something we'll talk about a little bit later. But affixes sometimes they work perfectly, sometimes they don't, and I think this is them realizing they need to. Well, there's two ways I could say this. I could say they need to fine tune how the affixes work in individual bits of content. That's the way I should say it. However, for full transparency, there was one neuron in my brain that said that they have to do their job as game designers and actually design encounters. That's profoundly unfair, to be completely frank, but it is the thing of sometimes applying a blanket effect isn't going to work and you need to fine tune things. You need to actually have the handcrafted design in there. So it does seem like they are actually doing that. It's just, I think it's frustrating that they have to do this based on feedback a month after the live game is out. Yeah. Which obviously is like
2 weeks to Christmas.
But. Yeah. It's still like, in a perfect world, this stuff would not have to be done. Totally. But it's being done, so hell yeah.
Yeah, like at least we're happy about that. I mean, Shadowlands did have loads of nerfs over the 109 days that it took to reach patch 905. Like, there was plenty of nerfs. I think Sanguine Depths got quite a few. Oh, I don't want to think about that place. Sorry for making you remember it. But right, other things then. So, the 2-second delay before you take damage from the Frost Pools at Telesh Greywing. Well, there's now a 2-second delay. Right? So if you move quick enough, you will not take any damage, and I will thank you because, I don't know, maybe you're in our pug. Health nerfs as well to Talash and Skull, which will make them decent bit easier, especially in those tyrannical weeks. Then for Ruby Life pools, you know those ads in the second ring that everybody loves? Honestly, I've only done that in the +2 because for some reason we were just never doing those keys.
Because
I got super busy.
We didn't know it was this week what happened because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. Oh yeah, I wrote a line in the video and then I think I removed it. But there needs to be something sorted with key distribution because I think of the usual. There's maybe like 6 or 7 of us in the guild who rotate between M+ fairly regularly. 3 of us get Halls of Valor 14. And we're like, I don't want to do that, please.
Fuck yeah.
Please. That's why it's like, I mean, you can just go join a group with a key and go for that if you're going pugging. But if you're with like 5 people, it's just like, oh yeah, sorry. Then you have to re-roll, and then you re-roll twice, and it's like, oh, well, that's our like 2 MLS done for the evening because we don't have time. So I'd love to see like a very limited. You can pick your key, but it would need to be very limited.
Man, does make me remember something.
Yes.
So, bosses, right? Dungeons have different numbers of bosses.
They do.
Now, the chance of getting gear at the end of the dungeon is not modulated by that, is it?
No, it's flat 20%.
Yeah. So.
But that's because the timers are variable.
Yeah, but like, it does feel a bit weird, right? That you'll do Hall of Valor for the amount of time that a Hall of Valor is versus
65 minutes.
Yeah, versus a Ruby Life
like
build. It isn't a shit show or like a shorter run, right? You know, the reason why Maw Souls. So back in Legion, right? People were doing Maw Souls, and everyone was avoiding Halls of Valor. Not because Halls of Valor is bad. I think it's a pretty damn incredible, amazing dungeon.
I genuinely love it, especially with the changes now.
But it's because it was so long. And Blizzard's reaction to that was to increase the amount of artifact power that you got from longer dungeons. Obviously, artifact power is no longer a thing that we need. So I guess, should Blizzard give more Primal Chaos? Should Blizzard have there be a per boss, or like roughly in line with the expected timer amount of loot that you get, so that players don't feel like, okay, the bit of gear that I need is in Halls of Valor. versus, some lucky person who maybe the bit of gear they needs in Shadow Moon Burial Grounds or Court of Stars, right? Like, I don't know, just spitballing, but that said, we should finish talking about the nerfs. So, the big fuck-off dragons, they're basically both, their big annoying things are nerfed like 25 to 30%, and then the Cinder Bolts are nerfed 50%, which of course the Cinder Bolts are interruptible, but in the big shit show that is life, not everything gets interrupted, so all those things together, and also with the dot overlap with the Blazehound Destroyers, that should also all be quite nice, with that dot also being nerfed 25% itself.
Yeah, which, if you're paying attention, is mostly unavoidable damage or very difficult to avoid damage, as opposed to damage you can deal with, because as we've talked about many weeks before, now so that most people are complaining, I think, about...
Yeah. I think Now was just one of the earlier people to talk about it, at least, I don't know, from our Twitter perusal. He's limit, right? I've completely forgotten.
Yeah. I should remember.
Good at playing WoW.
Very good. But yeah,
yes, very good WoW player. And, so even when the people who, like, in terms of being really good at the game and really skilled, are kind of saying, like, hey, maybe this is too much. So, what really we've done here is, like, this is just the real highlights, the main pain points. Actually, that's really it. So, let's move on. TLDR here basically is lots and lots of nerfs. There have been other waves of nerfs, in many cases multiple a week. There's times, actually for writing the WoW news today, I wrote that, and then in the morning, Dakor had said, oh wait, no, what about all these things? And it was because, there's a different wave of nerfs. There's so many nerfs, which, shouldn't have been done like that. But the point is, Blizzard are actually... they're very much actioning in these things. I remember with the was it Demo Warlock that was way OP in Season 3?
Season 3? I can't remember.
Whatever.
I want to say Destro, but I always feel Destro's busted.
If it was Destro, then yes, the tables have turned. But it was one of those things, like, they were so late at pulling that outlier in that they realized, oh shit, we actually just need to wait until the next season for this. And this, in this case, not only are we seeing fairly rapid iteration in the tuning of dungeons, we're also seeing very rapid iteration on class balance, both via hotfixes and that kind of thing, and also 10.0.5, which Matt's doing a big old video that I imagine will include, like, the 10.05 stuff, but probably also if any of the hotfixes we've had lately have maybe changed the deal for people. So it's a responsive Blizzard. I mean, hey, it even seems like they're taking a pretty damn big look into Retribution Paladins, like, during an expansion, which is totally unheard of. Like, I was going through the patch notes earlier today, and it was just whenever I came upon the Druid section, and you're like,
redesign.
Yeah. It's like balance, partially redesigned.
Yeah.
This is awesome to see.